invite to this place one of our elders, one of our leading lights, and it's no other person than the Carbon chairman, and that's builder Dr. Samson Okpalua. Let's put our hands together for him. We seem to be economical with our applause. Please, let's put our hands together for him. I don't want to be deregistered, though. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Vice President. You will not be deregistered. This is not an occasion for deregistration. The chairman of this occasion, our own builder Aliu over FNIOB, chair of NIOB Board of Trustees, past registrar of Common, the NIOB president, Honorable Builder Bimbo Kolade, FNIOB, ably represented by the first vice president of NIOB, Builder Dr. Idris Abubakar, FNIOB, past presidents of Nigerian Institute of Building here present, third dealer by FNI. That from the first one to date, by the grace of God, I have been in physical attendance. This event has become a vital platform for deep intellectual engagements, as evidenced by this year's highly relevant theme, the builder as an entrepreneur, maximizing the construction value chain for innovation and sustainable benefits. And I'm glad that the chairman of Association of Builders in Private Practice is here. I believe that you will get a lot of information and tips for your members to use in the economy and as they seek to represent us in the private sector. This theme directly challenges us to embody the entrepreneurial spirit of Otumba Oshikoya himself. Builders must transition from being mere contractors or project supervisors to becoming innovative value creators, driving sustainability, efficiency, and excellence across the entire construction value chain. To the new corporate members, your induction today is a beautiful continuation of Otumba Oshikoya's legacy, signifying the growth and renewal of our professional body. You are now the inheritors of a great tradition. Commit to upholding the highest ethical and professional standards that our founding father championed. Corbon, in his regulatory capacity, will continue to deepen collaboration with the NIOB to advance our shared goals, promoting professionalism and ensuring public safety, and fostering a construction industry that is globally competitive. As we deliberate further on the topic of this event, may the memory of late builder Otumba Fatai Shola Oshikoya continue to inspire us all to build a better future, literally and figuratively. May God bless the building profession, and may God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I thank you all.
Again, we are being economical with our applause. Let's applaud him. Thank you very much, the chairman, Carbon. Thank you very much. I told you you can never say enough of Builder Otumba Fatai Oshikoya. You can see that I've taken to correction. Yes, and I think that should go right round. We are having some of our dignitaries coming in. Anyway, with time we will introduce them. Now, you have heard from the President of Nigerian Institute of Building. You have heard from the Chairman of Carbon, Council of Registered Builders of Nigeria. We have The special guest for this occasion, and that special guest that we have here is one of the federal commissioners, Honorable. And so, we are moving deep into the matter of the day. You have a child that is a doctor, his name, he drops his name, you become Baba Law, Baba Doctor. That is doctor's father, lawyer's father. In those days, the sound of the name, we like it so much. But proper. I'm talking about the lecture proper. We went after no other person than somebody who had been looking around. He has an imposing structure, handsome, but I'm not too sure if I can. We want something to happen here today. I will now follow it up. And so before I invite him finally to come and deliver the lecture, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we have a group of discussants. We have deliberately chosen this set of people to discuss what the lecturer, I enjoyed it, and I was saying it would be better shared. And so we have a group of people, a group of discussants. One of them, of course, the women are indeed making waves now. One of them is a professor. You know that person now? You know that person? Okay, you will soon get to find out who that person is. And of course, we have others too. So I'm going to invite the publicity secretary. You are going to introduce the moderator for this program. And we are also going to introduce the discussants. They will be seated while the lecture is going on, so that, because that's the lecture they were going to discuss, so that they will be taking their notes. Okay. So the compere, the moderator for this program, we have decided to be unbiased. We have decided to take somebody from the management, from the financial areas, somebody who appreciates the importance of investment of that magnitude when you begin to raise structures. The person who appreciates handling of resources, all the 5 resources, because the builder is a good manager of all that 5 resources. No other person. But we decided to bring somebody outside of the building profession to be the moderator of this program. And he's going to talk about those that will come in to come and discuss it. While we have them seated, we'll now bring in the guest lecturer. Oh, can we call somebody who is a landlord a guest in his home? No. The lecturer. Delete the guest that I put there. And that person I'm talking about, the moderator for this program, is no other person than Lady Cynthia Okoli. Let's put our hands together for her as she walks straight to the podium. Let's keep clapping. Let's keep clapping. Lady Cynthia, you are most welcome. I think, okay, you prefer to sit there. Okay. Meanwhile, while the program was going on, we had some dignitaries who came in. My very amiable past president, Builder Tijani Shuaib. Let's put our hands together for him. And we also have Oh, I want to, before I pronounce this name, announce this person, I want this hall to appreciate the Board of Trustees of NIOB. This is massive. Let's applaud them. This is a massive support. We have Builder Mrs. Bolaniwa Iyabo FNIOB, a member of the Board of Trustees. She walked in, she's a member of the Board of Trustees. And of course, we have with us the second vice president of this great institute, and that is Dr. Mrs. Enebe, Builder Dr. Mrs. Enebe Ukeria, FNIOB. Yes. We have our moderator here. She's going to take us into that. Then I will now announce the guest, the lecturer. Lady Cynthia, are you set for me? Thank you. You take over from here.
Good day, distinguished guests, members of the Nigerian Institute of Building, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this segment, our panel, at the 2025 edition of Builder Oshikoya's annual lecture. Builder Oshikoya is an visionary builder and one of the founding fathers of the Institute, proudly brought to you by the Nigerian Institute of Building. In this year, it is happening live at this Rainbow Marquee here in Abuja, FCT, and I, Cynthia Chika Okoli, will be moderating the discussions. In the course of our conversation, we'll be discussing the topic, the builder as an entrepreneur, maximizing the construction value chain for innovation and sustainable benefits. In this forum, we'll be interacting with industry experts, renowned leaders in the art and science of building, academia, seasoned personnel who are gathered here to bring out ideas and make sense of the issues that are shaping the Institute and, of course, our world, which includes sustainability, professional excellence, entrepreneurship, business, capacity building, and the future. These issues trigger adjustments or major shifts in the building profession, and they set the tone for the builder from the ordinary, from the traditional brick and steel cruncher to an innovative builder entrepreneur. These professionals will step on this stage, think boldly, share ideas, and speak honestly, while leaving you and I not just better informed than the way we came into this marquee, but feeling empowered to be the catalyst of change. Before now, I've not had the privilege of sharing this memorable event with everybody here seated. In fact, this is my first time of engaging and sharing this wonderful moment with you all. I didn't know what to expect, sincerely. In my mind, I was figuring out how will it look like, how will it turn out, who are these people, how would the atmosphere be? But sincerely, since I sat there at the back, I can feel and testify that the atmosphere is fantastic. The energy is positive, and the speakers magnificent, and has been trying to crack us up all along. So on that note, I want to invite to the stage. But before I do that, please, I'll crave your indulgence to help me do something. If you are familiar with the acronym MACA, can I get a clap? If you know the full meaning of Carbon, can I get 2 claps? And if you really identify with the acronym NIOB, can I get a resounding applause? So on this note, I'll be inviting up to the stage members of the panel who will be discussing this key topic in order to share their perspective and proffer advice on how the Institute can navigate to the future. I'll be calling on stage Builder Georg Mimbin. Apologies if I didn't pronounce your name properly. Builder Georg Luca Johanna NIOB Nimbin, CEO, Project Tech Manager, Pentroville Habitation and Turkey Development Limited. Please, you're welcome on stage, sir.
Thank you very much. Let us applaud him. Yes, you're most welcome.
You're welcome, sir. And next on my list is Professor Ijego Onyemogum Yakubu, Professor of Construction Economics and Construction Management, lectures at the Department of Building, University of Jos.
Let us
You're
applaud
welcome
her.
on stage,
That's our own Professor Ijego. You're most welcome. Thank you.
And last but not the least, Dr. Musa Ali Jogana, member, NIOB, member, CPIN, lecturer, chief lecturer in the building department of the Federal College of Education, Technical Buchi, the director, College of Consultancy Unit of the college. You are most welcome to the panel. Do we have you in the audience?
Let's applaud him. Beautiful. Now, like those of us in the academics, you cannot lecture in an empty class. Your student must be seated. Your participant, in the case of senior listeners, must be seated. And that's what informed us. In academics, we also tear paper. When some people hear tearing paper, they begin to fight you. They don't know that tearing your paper does not mean physical tearing. It's to make the paper better. And so, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, the guest lecturer is here. And these are the people that are going to tear his paper. And they are going to tear it thoroughly. The fourth person in the interim, I will take over if he's not here. And so, the guest lecturer for this distinguished sitting is no other person than past president, builder, and I'm going to ask another one. And that's a challenge to him. Dr. Chuks Omeife. Let's put our hands together for him. Let's put our hands together for him. He's the only person that each time I stand with him, I always look that maybe I am short or taller than him. But we are going to settle that now. He will take the mic from me. With our Chuks Omeife. Over to you.
Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. Good morning, builders. Thank you very much. My name is Bidachuk Omeife, as has been recognized. I'm highly humbled to be choosing to write this paper on the memorial lecture of a giant. When I mean giant in the industry. And I am going to provoke many of us this afternoon to the fact that there's a difference between the business or the profession and the profession itself. There are two different things. You cannot survive on the profession alone. And that is one of the issues I'm going to raise this afternoon. Many of us we have continuously professionalizing and living the business of the profession. Let me not deviate too much. We will catch up as we go along. The builder as an entrepreneur maximizing the construction value chain for innovation and sustainable benefits. The construction industry is the biggest sector, business in the world. And it will continue to be. The biggest business in the world. And why is it the biggest? It's an indicator of development in any nation. Government must continue to invest in construction. If you take our annual budget, look at housing and infrastructure. It carries the highest budget. And that is the way it is all over the world. In advanced countries, it's even higher because they need to sustain these infrastructures and housing so that it can last. So the construction industry contributes 7% to Nigerian gross domestic product. Last year, it contributed 4%. This year, because of some government initiative, like the NIOB agenda, government investment in housing, road constructions, we are hoping at the end of this year to have contributed 7% to the GDP. And like I said, these investments are basically because of urbanization, population, technological advancement, building information modeling, artificial intelligence, sustainable construction services, which are on the rise today. Construction is no longer about brick and mortar. And that is where most of us are still living. We are living with brick and mortar. And what are the challenges in the construction industry? High cost of materials, regulatory hurdles, funding constraints. All of us here, we have experienced these challenges in our own very small corner. And it will continue to be there. What are the opportunities in the industry? Infrastructural development, sustainable construction, PPP, joint venture, And this is my own personal acronym, LRD, Lease Innovation Development. It's an informal sector thing. I'm sure not a lot of us are aware of that. But that is where the business entrepreneur can actually hang on to make a living. The other one is a lease development. All of us are looking for contracts. We are looking for a large to go and get a contract and engage us as a builder. That has been our mindset. But unfortunately, is changing. You can't survive on that. You have to change your mindset from only being a profession now to an entrepreneur. And as a builder, we have the highest opportunity in the industry. This is not without any pride. As a builder, we have the greatest potential in the industry to be an entrepreneur. I'm successful at that. So what are the objectives of this presentation? We want to explore the entrepreneurial potential of builders. We want to identify opportunities for value creation along the construction value chain. We want to examine how innovation drives sustainability and project delivery efficiency. We want to provide actionable recommendations for practical applications, where with our visual to show flow chart linking object to outcomes. So why are we focusing on the builder as an entrepreneur? Why are we focusing on the builder? If you remember very, very well, the people that started this building profession didn't start as professional builders. They started as entrepreneurs. They only over time come to now professionalize the industry and the profession. And that's why when the chairman of BOT was talking about Shikoya about not collecting anything during council meetings and during council activities, I understand where that is coming from. He was an entrepreneur, a full-fledged entrepreneur with landmark projects all over the country. And if you look at his biodata here, you will see that he was not doing block and mortar. And this is where most of us got it wrong, and we are struggling. Struggling materially, struggling financially, and crying that other people are pushing out of our profession. The engineers are doing this. The one is doing this. What are you doing for yourself? That is the question. So we're going to look at the traditional roles of the builder, focusing on those things we do outside execution. Because most of us believe that our job is just to go to the site and supervise, manage artisans and craftsmen. And that's what the mindset of many of us in this profession. But time have changed. You need to think outside the box to make a living. You also want to look at entrepreneurial approaches, emphasizing on mindset, strategy, innovation, and leadership that builder can bring to bear on the construction value chain. The fact remains that entrepreneurship, in any sector of the economy, in any sector, in any profession, drives sustainable activities. I was talking last time to a medical doctor about 5 years ago. He said, can you believe that in medicine as a profession, there's nowhere they are taught financial management. They are not taught how to manage a business. So they just teach you how to do surgery, how to do a lot of things. But the business of that profession, they are not taught. And that's why I see a lot of medical doctors working from one hospital to the other hospital. But many of them are broken chains, they are broken loose now. Turn the profession to an entrepreneur venture, and they're making headways. So we're going to look at how this long-term entrepreneurship mindset result to revenue generation benefits for all the professions, especially for the builder. So let's start from the beginning. How did the builder come to be? Because we need to understand where we are coming from to know where we are going to. From traditional craftsmen to modern entrepreneurs, like I said, the people in the shape of Power Shikoya started as entrepreneurs with knowledge of building in the background. They didn't start like most of us who carry the profession on our head. And when you see anything outside laying block and mortar, we shy away from it. That's what most of us are doing. You see a builder, what is he waiting for? He wants to wait for one allergy to go and get a contract and come and engage him. How do you want to survive on that? So the mindset had to change along the line. The builder of those days were like, they were craftsmen, you know? They call themselves master builders. They do everything concerning construction. Gradually, it changed to traditional builders whose focus on construction activities, limited innovation, and like maybe Arakika, you just come to site, there's an engineer there, architect there, you are staying in your own small corner as a builder. That system started for a while, and it changed into the modern builder of today, where we are focusing on professionalism, all of us. Don't do anything that the engineer is doing, no, it's a quackery. Don't do anything the architect is doing, it is quackery. Don't do anything that you are not trained for, it is quackery. So most of us are held up in our hole to keep looking at mortar and brick as our source of income. But the entrepreneur builders, which is the one that is reigning at the moment, focus on professionalism, innovation, customer satisfaction, and collaborative culture. And what are the key drivers of these entrepreneurship builders? Technological advancement, changing customers' needs, increased competition, and government policies. And what's the impact? Increased efficiency, improved quality, and increased revenue. Let's look at the value chain of construction. What does it entail, the value chain of construction, so that we can know where to position the builder along the line? The sequence of value chain, we now look at those stages where a builder can make impact and add value to those stages. The first one, design stage or concession stage. Then we talk of procurement. We talk of execution. Talk of delivery. Talk of maintenance. The concession stage, or what entails designs and planning. What does that mean? It means resource allocation, risk assessment, and early design optimization. Where does the builder come in here? And most of us we look at it and say, this is architect job now, this was engineer job now. But as a builder, we have been trained to know about buildability and maintainability. In advanced countries, when projects are conceptualized, every member of the team sits together on the table. And what does the builder bring on board? As you are planning the project, the builder is bringing in knowledge, buildability and maintainability. With conceptual design, just a sketch, the builder will look at it and tell you, no, this can work, this cannot work. So it brings value, like optimized cost, effective planning, and even ease construction. Because when we are talking about buildability, people think this is big grammar. No, break it down. At construction stage, the builder sits down and look at the sketch design that they are brought together from the engineer, the architect, the town planner, everybody, and looks at areas of challenges and advises on that. And this stage is about resource allocation, risk assessment. In your risk assessment, why does the builder come in there? The builder is the one that prepared the health and safety plan. So as you are conceiving a project, it's looking at areas of risk, areas of health, areas of quality, and those areas carries financial involvements. Then procurement. Most of us today realize that many builders in the civil service have changed gear to become procurement officers. In the past, I'm sure if they call a builder and say, come and do procurement, you say, no, I'm a builder. I'm not interested in procurement. I want to build using mortar and block. That's what you think. But today, that has changed. These are areas builders can add value. Then we talk about delivery and maintenance. This involves ensuring client satisfaction, integrate sustainability for a long-term value. This obviously is the role of the builder. Nobody can take it away from him. But what do we do most of the time? We shine away from it. Then let us look at what value does the builder add at these different stages. As concept design and planning, the builder adds 10 to 20% value to the project. At procurement and logistics, the builder adds 20 to 30% to the project in terms of value. During the construction process, the value adds 30 to 40% to the value of that project. Then commissioning, the builder adds 10% to 20%. Operation and maintenance, 10 to 20%. These are areas where the builder come in. Because imagine the builder is not there. All these additional values will be lost. So the builder is very, very key. Yes, I accept that in Nigeria, we are still struggling to take our right positions. But that should not stop us from exploring other areas that can empower us in different ways. So as a builder, and I want to be as an entrepreneur, how do you want to impart on the system? Like I tell people, without missing words, I say, in project management, that is becoming an issue all over the world now, where people believe anybody can be a project manager. With pride, I will tell you that the builder is more positioned to be a project manager. Why? You have knowledge of planning, knowledge of design, knowledge of process management, knowledge of procurement, management. I mean, mention it from the beginning to the end. We are trained. As a matter of fact, let me just share with you one of the things that increased my motivation for this profession. While we were in school, our lecturer told us that as long as man lives on this earth, the builder will have work to do. As long as man lives on this earth, the builder must have work to do. Because look at all of us here. After you have been able to feed yourself, the next thing is shelter. So if you are the one in charge of shelter, why will you go hungry? Why? The answer is simply because we have decided to pigeonhole ourselves in a box. Because you think we are a professional, I'm a builder, and my job is to execute projects. That is changing. Number two, identifying market opportunities for cost efficiency and innovations. All of us here have had opportunities in the industry. But the problem is, have you been able to identify them? I will just share my own personal experience. My chairman of BOT is here. I'm sure he'll be interested in this story. Many, many years ago, I was appointed a project manager for a 500 units housing development for federal road safety. This time I'm talking about, I think I was the other second vice or third vice of the institute. So all my thinking was professionalism. You can't be a project manager and be the contractor. You can't be a project manager and be the engineer. You must stay where you are supposed to stay. Accepted, that is professionalism. What about business? never thought of that business. My job was come to site. I have about 10 people working for me, engineer, architect, all of them were working. They give me reports. I didn't identify any opportunity on that site. 500 housing units. Can you imagine? I was just sitting down on my feet and feeling big. But there was a woman. This woman she didn't go to school. She came as a supplier. What was she supplying? She was supplying sand, cement, granite to the people. Gradually, she graduated to start molding blocks for the project. Can you imagine if I thought about putting a block making machine to produce block for that project? I would not be here now. Maybe I will be somewhere enjoying myself. But I didn't see that opportunity because I was focused on project management. My job is to make sure this project is completed. But that does not remove me from the fact I can still make money on the side. Before I led that project, the woman had almost 4 or 5 trailers. She didn't go to school. She had 4 or 5 trailers. She was even recommending builders to contractors. Because I made it a point of this that any contractor here must have a builder. So they go and meet her. Madam, do you have any builder? If you're not even coming to me, they go to her. Because she's at the middle of the materials used by builders. So people will naturally go to her and ask her. And she was recommending. And she was making money. We will supply granite, we will do block, supply sand. People who are working with all of us, we are talking about how to make sure the land is straight. How to make sure that the job is properly done. But we didn't see the opportunity. There's no law against entrepreneurship. No law. We didn't see it. We were busy looking at how the project to be completed. So that is one of the things we must start thinking about. Thinking outside the box. Yes, being a professional, but also being an entrepreneur. Identifying opportunities where they are. I'm sure if you ask in this hall now, how many people have a block making industry? There won't be anybody, maybe 1 or 2. If I ask you how many people have business where they're supplying materials to site, maybe 1 or 2. Because we are so pigeonholed into I'm a builder. My job is to supervise management, supervise and manage artisans. That's our job. That's our social responsibility, to manage and supervise artisans and craftsmen. But can that put money in your pocket? I also forgot to mention that if you put yourself in construction and you are doing contracting, you can't be a rich man. You cannot be a rich man, let me tell you now. So when you go and start thinking about it, if you are involved in sitting down and managing artisans and craftsmen on a daily basis, you cannot be rich. Most of the jobs I've done, by the time you finish the job, to bring out 1 million naira as profit, is difficult. Overhead. You do a job for 12 months, Abi? At the end, you make 1 million. An aluminum man will come to site, take measurement. In 2 months, he has delivered aluminiums. He has made 500,000 naira profit. The same thing, the man in charge of doors. But the builder is there, day and night, making sure. But at the end of the day, what happens? You don't really make the money. And that brings to another point. When they say you are a building consultant, what does that mean? A building consultant. You can do anything concerning build. That's what it means. All these names you see, build and sell, design and build, they were coined by smart people. Very smart people to enter into any profession. When you say people say design and build, you think it's a very... What stops you from becoming a designer and a builder to start with? Many years ago, my friend called me from UK and said they wanted to sell a house. I said, I don't sell house now. Which one is my own with house? He said, but you are a builder now. You should know people want to buy houses. I said, no, I don't sell houses. He said, no, that you have to look at this thing very well. Though. He forced me. I said, I'm the one who will sell the house. So I went and I said, how do we sell houses here? My friend said, go and do banner now. Do a banner. There's no law against doing banner now. Do banner and put your name there and your phone number. Ask for sale. I did the banner. Put on top of the building. After about a few weeks, less than 1 month, somebody called and said, is this house for sale? I said, yes, it's for sale. He said, how much? I told him. He said, can we close the deal? I said, we can close it next if you are ready. He said, okay, go and remove the banner there. I want to buy the house. I said, but you are not paid now. He said, I'm going to pay. Go and remove the banner. So I went and removed the banner. In 2 months, I made 10 million naira with producing banner alone. Just banner. Imagine if I'm going to take a contract to start every day. Can I make such bulk money? It's not possible now. So you're a building consultant. What's stopping for going to estate management? I'm not competing as a professional with you, but I can sell houses now. There's no law against me selling houses. Is there any law? No. So if you sit down and say you are looking at a block and mortar, my brother, it's a very long way for us. So it's a long way. So we need to start changing that mindset gradually. So what are the set skills required by anybody who wants to become an entrepreneur, especially as a builder? Because being an entrepreneur is not an easy game. Oh. Many years ago when I was in school, I told you, I say, when I see people sitting down on the roadside, they just put some items together and they are selling. They will sit down there, they will be very, very patient. I say, these people have hearts. So who is going to buy this thing now? They say, people will come and buy it. And most of these people they're not literate. What that means is that there's a mindset already imbued in them that once you have a product, the buyer will come. For some of us, it looks like a magic that you want to start selling, for instance, I want to start putting aluminum windows to sell. You go and produce one and put there. I will not have anybody will come to me and buy it. But these people, this mindset is natural to some of them. For those of us who are builders, it's not natural because we are focused on cement and sand. Let us start looking at those things that can prepare us for this journey of entrepreneurship. The first thing, which is overriding, technical and construction expertise. Like I said, after you have qualified as a builder, you put in a position to do anything of construction. I remember when we were in school those days, we were doing exam, maybe 12 subjects, 13 subjects. I will be complaining. People that do accountancy, they will just do 4 papers. These admin, they will do maybe 3 or 2. In a week, they have finished the exam. The building student will be doing exam for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. We'll be complaining. We'll be grumbling. They said, don't worry. When you finish, you will understand what you are talking about. Today, I know better. But am I putting that into use? That's the question. Because if you throw me as a builder, if you throw me into a Sahara desert and tell me you want to build a house, I will in that place. I will do your design for you. I will cost the house. I will tell you the material that is necessary. That is the training of a builder. So that you are an expert in construction gives you an edge over so many other professions. But are we using that knowledge? Again, in our course of study, we do financial management, we do costing, we do marketing, we do sales. In our syllabus, is there. But how many of us have actually looked at those areas and see how to how to increase our knowledge about those areas to use, not in the book, or to use on our daily businesses. Then the new thing that's happening now, we have construction management, project and operation management. Yeah, they are good things. But with a good knowledge of construction, I can tell you that you will strive very, very well in those areas. The most important one is business and soft skills. No matter how much knowledge you have in your head, if you don't have a business skill, you will survive, but you won't survive too much. Then, as a builder, you already have communication, leadership, skill, problem solving, and being a team worker. Then, digitally, you have to be very, very literate. It's gone beyond carrying shovel. No. You can stay in your office and do all the work that you need to do about producing a builder's estimate for a project. If you can't do that, I'm sorry. Those are the things you need, even when you go for tendering, that prepares you to tender and be successful. If you carry BOQ, my brothers and my sisters, my colleagues, they can't win contracts. You know what BOQ is? They just say cement is 10 naira. You now say add 10% to it. That's BOQ. But the bidder estimate will take you from the preliminaries to derive a cost, which when you have that cost, you can manage your profit on that project. But if you take BOQ, you come back and say, I didn't win that project, I engage a quantity surveyor. You cannot win now because you have been trained to produce a builder's estimate, which is more fundamental than BOQ. So whatever you get between the builder estimate and the BOQ, you can negotiate to get the contract. The new thing happening now is building information modeling. They are very good, though. Project management softwares, you should be able to use those softwares. The other digital tools. The marketing and packaging. This is where, again, the builder must try. See, sometimes you may not be there, but your marketing skill and your packaging skill will work for you. About 25 years ago, when I was applying, I was doing a job for EcoBank. They took us with about 10 contractors. They said we should go and design. They just gave us a land. They said, go and design, give us cost, and everything. Design and build. What I did, I just went and took one architect, one young architect. I said, come and do this thing. The band designed everything. I did the cost and everything. And we submitted it. But the design was good. But I didn't allow the architect to know the client. Because if you do that one, you are selling your birthright now. So they did design. I used my company to cover the content and I submitted it. 8 months down the line, the EcoBank came to my office and said, you have been looking for this man now. Where is this man that did this name? I said, but you know my office now. They said, no, that we've been looking for you. There's this contract we have. I'm trying to explain to you the importance of packaging. We are looking for this person. I said, I'm the owner. I said, the guy, we've been looking for you. The management said we should go and get you. I said, why? They said there's one man they call architect. They mentioned the man's name. And when they go to board meeting, the man will say, go and get this man who did this packaging. So I said, well, I'm interested, but it's a long time now. They say, okay, just come to the office. I'm saying this to tell you that sometimes preparation can be helpful. So I went to EcoBank to go and meet them. They were very, very angry. You know why they were angry? Normally, if you do a design for them, they can remove your name and put another letter of paper to cover it. But this time, the architect in that board insisted that they must go and look for me. And for 8 months, they were looking for me. Eventually, I went there and I met them. The general manager is a white man. The man said, I don't know why this architect is looking for you. I don't know why. I said, I don't know too. Eventually, we started discussing. He said, how much discount are you going to give on this job? A job I quoted for 8 months ago. You're asking for discount. I told him, no, there's no discount. He said, we are going to increase the cost. So the man was very, very angry. You know, white man was smoking like a rabbit. He was going about. So the people working say, okay, why not just come down now so I can get this job? I said, come down to my debt. As you come down and go and do a job and lose that at the job, I said, I won't come down. The architect insisted that they must give me the job. I didn't know this, but what was going on? Eventually, they gave me the job. Because I already heard the architect name. When the job was going on, I went to buy some. This is a business relationship. I bought some few things, started looking for his office. Got his office, went there, I met the secretary. I said, this is for Oga. The secretary told me, do you know him? I said, I don't know him, but just give it to him. I will come back next time. I left my car. So the man came and said, who brought all these things? Call him. So they called me. I went. I said, Oga, this project in Broad Street. He said, oh, my colleague architect. I said, I'm not an architect. Oh. Because he was so carried away by the packaging. He thought that only architect can do such a packaging. I said, I'm a builder. The man looked at me. He said, when did you train? I said, I'm a student of Yaba Tech now. He said, no, this is impossible. Ha. You mean I'm a builder? I said, yes. I said, okay. From there, we became friends. When I became president of NIOB, the man came and said, I want to become a builder. It's a man that left school 1973. Architecture, MSc, ABU. He came and said, I want to become a builder. I told him, we'll give you technician. No. So I'm saying this because the opportunities we have, we're not using them. We are just believing that this block and mortar is the way. But it's not. You're a building consultant. What does that mean? You can do anything, but don't go and sign as an architect. Oh. Don't go and sign as an engineer. But you can collaborate with them. A builder was telling me that he had a client from South Africa who wanted to do the house. And they told him that they wanted him to get somebody who can design for them. My friend foolishly went and brought an architect. And the architect charged for the design and everything. When he finished design, the architect said, madam, I can build this house too. So my friend came to complain to me. I told him, you are sold your bet right now. Why don't you bring it to me? I'll go do the design now. We go give architect make a sign. We collect the fee and give architect small money. And the job will be done. And that is the position of most of us who are builders. When you see a client on a turnkey basis, you start looking for architect, start looking for engineer. Are you not a building consultant? Ha! Why are you looking for them? To do what for you? What's stopping you for collaborating with them? Put them under your seats and let them be working for you. That's the way it should be. So please, the opportunities in the industry alone. Let's even live going outside the industry. There's enough for the builders in this industry. What we need is a change of mind about what our focus should be. What you should be thinking of. That's the question. If an architect do a design and meets a novice client, if you tell the client that, madam, I designed this house now, so I can build it. And you that the client has not even seen your handwork, he'll be doubting you. Say, now this man designed this thing now. You go feel builder better pass you will be builder. That's a challenge. So you must be proactive in your thinking. You are a building consultant. What have you done with that appellation? That's the question you ask yourself. You can do anything in the industry, please. Anything in that industry, but don't go and sign as another professional. But you can bring them to work with you so that you can be the head and they can be the tail. Please. So as a builder, what are the competencies do you need to strive in this industry? Like I said, you must have a business acumen. You can't run away from it. You must be resilient. You must have social and networking. I was listening to one guest speaker some days ago. He said your phone has many phone numbers. How many of those phone numbers can you call to ask for 100,000 naira? I said the list on your phone. How many of them can you call to ask for 10,000 naira loan and they will give to you? So social networking is valuing social relationship and putting yourself first and foremost as someone who has integrity. You also have emotional intelligence. What does that mean? You are talking to a client. Some people have told me, don't mind that client, he's a very stupid man. Because the man refused to pay what they wanted to collect. But if you are emotionally intelligent, you know that someone who is saying yes today can say no tomorrow, and vice versa. Then you must be ready to keep learning. That you are a builder does not mean that you know everything. Even in construction, you must keep learning every day and be committed to ongoing professional development. The opportunities for you as a builder in the industry is so massive. Population of Nigeria about 200 million. That alone, if you have 1% of that as a builder, you are made, you are done. Especially government initiative, national housing policy, mortgage refinancing. I'm talking about people who cannot go and do entrepreneurship, or if you just believe that you want to go to government office and be looking for a job. Yes, it's good. You can look at all these things and say government investment, road, bridges, and airports, railways, PPP, specialized construction, and things like that. But I've said once, I said informal sector, that's what we call lease, renovation, development. I want us to take that away from here. What does that mean? A man has a big house. He's tired of the house. He can't renovate it. Say, okay, what can you do about this house? You can renovate that house on lease for 20 years. Give the man one flat in the house. Put your money into the house and collect rent for the next 20 years. It is happening even in Lagos, but people are not aware. People have houses, they don't know what to do with the houses. Give them the idea, let us do this thing for you. Imagine collecting rent for 17 years from a house. Every year you are making about $1 million from one development you have done. Not building a new house, so it's already existing. The other one is development. People give out land for you to go and develop. And you strike a bargain with them. This is an informal sector which is very, very profitable as today. I will end up now. Despite everything I have said, as a builder, there are limitations, challenges. That is, if you decide to go the government way. High interest rates, lack of collateral to hinder construction projects. Most of us who have limited understanding of sustainable construction practices among finances, regulatory framework, complex building codes, zoning laws, and regulatory requirements, bureaucratic processes, which slow down project approvals. Let me just touch this briefly. I was talking to high government officials, because I used to be a developer. And what discouraged me was that when you put in your approval for development, it can take you 3 years. So I started losing interest. So the man called me and said, you don't know what is going on. When you have money to do project or from bank, you obtain a bank loan, do your drawings, submit your drawings, and go and start the project. Some of us will say, no, it's not professionalism. You have to have approval. Once you submitted your drawings and they gave you a file number, go and keep 10 million naira for penalty. That's what a government official told me this. Say keep money for penalty. Meanwhile, you are able to reduce your interest rate on that fund you have collected. If you are going to take you 2 years to do, you will have finished your project. Or you come here and give you penalty now, you just go and pay the penalty. You have saved money from an interest rate. You have been able to finish your project on time and sell if you are going to sell. So these are things you cannot learn from the school. You learn this thing on the street by interacting with people who are in the business. So don't wait until your approval is ready. No. Make sure you do the needful, submit the approval. Let them give you a number. Then go and do your project, but prepare some money down in your pocket. They will come with penalty. But it's better for you to have done your project than waiting for 2-3 years to start the project. Yes, let me just conclude here. As a builder, I mentioned your impact in the value chain of construction. You can actually drive innovation and add value. The builders play a very vital role in the Nigerian construction industry. I was telling someone, I said, if builder is not allowed to perform their role, then how can we stop building collapse in Nigeria? It's not possible now. And I say, don't go about telling people what people are saying about building collapse. That because the material is not good, because no laborers, no skilled people are working. It's not somebody trained to do all those things. So whether we tell you that the reason buildings are collapsing is because there is a poor workmanship, there is a material, substantial materials in the market. What is the job of a builder? To check the materials and use the best. To look at the laborers and the artisans to get the best for them. So it's a political statement when you hear people talking about building collapse. It's not because materials are bad. Neither is it because artisans are not good enough. That itself is the role of the builder. So when they say that, they want to cover up a lot of things. Then we must always look for opportunities for growth. Like I said, as a building consultant, why are you limiting yourself? Anything in the industry you can do. But like I said, don't go and impersonate. Put somebody's name there and say engineer. No. Don't put yourself name as engineer. But you can collaborate with other people in the industry on one-on-one. I'll give you an example, for instance. In Lagos State, there's this thing they are calling amnesty for buildings that don't have approval. Government saying, come and do approval. Been there 50 years ago, because they are trying to raise revenue for the state. They say, come and do approval. They will give you penalty and everything. Somebody came to me and said, okay, builder, do you do this processing for approval? I said, I'm a building consultant now. I do everything. And what does it entail? I get a town planner. You do land use report. I got an engineer. You write what do you call it? Non-destructibility report. I will get an architect. You do the design. As built drawing. I put them together. Use my letter, the company name, cover it up and go and submit it. I pay them. I don't pay professional fees though. I pay the negotiated fees. And at the end of the day, am I not a building consultant? A building consultant. So, how many people are doing it in Lagos State, for instance? People sit down and say, because in that particular submission, there's no way building document is required. There's none. So you sit down and say because the bidder is not required, you won't get involved. No. You are a building consultant. You can do anything. Put them together and submit. It's a good source of revenue for the builders if you can do that for yourself. Recommendation, just to round up, recommendation, adopt entrepreneurial mindset. Like I said, entrepreneurship is not about going to school. It's a mindset. You can develop it if you want to. There are things you need to do, things you need to know to become an entrepreneur. Invest in technology, training, and sustainable practices. Promote collaboration and integrity management. Align business goals with sustainability as a factor. Focus on sustainable construction. Leverage on technology. Explore PPP, joint venture, and so many other models. Develop skill and competencies in emerging technologies. Well, just to conclude, I'm not sure I've done very well on this paper, but I just think that I've been able to tinkle your mind a bit. As long as you're a builder, you're a building consultant. That means you can do anything as far as construction industry is concerned. Even road construction, you can do it. Anything. Don't limit yourself to brick and mortar. You are a building consultant. That is what is important. So don't look at yourself and say, when I looked at Power Shikoya's biodata, it was doing road construction, bridges. My colleagues, if you stay on brick and mortar, you will not be rich, except you are corrupt. Thank you very much.
Wow. Let's put our as adjunct in University of Lagos. And I want to appreciate him again. Please, let's put our hands together for him. Yes. There are two sets of people you cannot joke with your microphone. The first are those who are pastors. And the second one are lecturers. Well, if you now have somebody who is a pastor and a lecturer, that one is a serious case. So if you leave your microphone for them, you may not be able to retrieve it quickly. So Bidachuk Someife, thank you so very much, sir. We appreciate you. Now, we have people who were taking note. I was intrigued I saw these gentlemen and ladies taking notes as if they have an exam to write. Even a professor amongst the two of them are professors. Amongst them, they were taking notes. That means they want to do serious matter with your paper. Let's see how they would try. But just before then, we have some of our dignitaries who came in. Builder Professor Johanna Izam came in, past President Professor Johanna Izam. I saw you. I can't mistake. Yes, let's put our hands together for him. Yes. I also saw Builder Tony Okwa. He came in. I'm not sure he's still around. He came in. We can applaud him in absentia. Let's put our hands together. The internet is recording it, so you will see that he was applauded while he was away. So I saw him came in. So I want to also let you know, as we progress, the past President Kunle Awobodu has a secret to tell us. While he's still there, do you want to say the secret now? What Baba Oshikoya told him. Can you imagine? I was told just now that Professor Kabiru Bala came in, the immediate past VC of ABU. He came in. Can you imagine? Let's put our hands together for him. Yes. You see, he smiled more now. When he was the VC, he wasn't smiling too often. There must be something about the VC position, no? May you continue to smile, Prof. I recognize past President Shoaib now. Okay, the AGS want me to recognize you again. Past President Shoaib. Let's put our hands together for him. Yes. Past President Chukwuemeka, you know when you started your paper, Professor Kabiru was not here. He came in. So you have so many people that will tear your paper. Past President Kunle Awobodu, you want to tell the secret now or they should continue to tear the paper? We should continue. Now, okay, if you want to. What do we do? Okay. You want to let out the secret about what Oshikoya told him. Please jot it down, let it be part of, and let it be that it's him that let out that secret. But I know it's going to be beneficial to this gathering. Kunle Awobodu, you don't speak too little. You are also, you will see that the microphone is not even enough for him. Oh yeah, over to you, my past president.
The whole house, just a quick one. I greet all all the builders, and our guests. The history of NIOB that you have with you, I was guided to write it by our Baba Oshikoya, how we started. And that picture at Unilag, the exhibition, was given to me by Baba from his archive to let you know our background. Why past President Bilda Omefe was raising the issue of entrepreneurship and Baba's involvement at that level. It reminded me of what he told me when I challenged him that Baba, as the pioneer president of NIOB, you are more known for road construction, fiscal engineering. At K2 has had an asphalt plant. What happened? You are not too popular in the area of building construction in practice, though you are a member of NSC. Baba explained something. Let me tell you something, my boy. In building construction, the quantity surveyors have narrowed down your profit. That if care is not taken, if you want to match quality with cost, you might end up not making anything. But in road construction, Baba smile, there is profit. Now, some builders who were involved in construction work, building especially, will also come to lament to me later. I remember particularly Builder Legbede, that he went to construct a building for a chairman of local government in Lagos at Lekki. At the end of the day, his gain was 4,000 naira. So, I also, in our own company, we handle a 6-story building, labor only. The concrete, the profit at the end of the day with the QS, who was also the project manager, now mentioned something to me. When at the end of the day, we show him that we hardly made profit. Now, the QS later went into construction. I also lamented that he has gained that experience. So that shows that builders, when Builder Omefe mentioned something, that estimate and BOQ is an area where we need to work on. Because in construction industry, events don't usually go as planned. So the young ones who are coming fully into the practice, there's need to learn about development. You can become developers, but try to understand the limitations, the academic challenges of BOQ and the practice. Thank you very much, Builder Omefe.
Let's put our hands together for him. Now the die is cast. You have been taking notes since. Let me now hand you over to the moderator, Lady Cynthia Okoli. I love that your intro when you started. So let's begin to hear you. Over to you.
Thank you very much.
I'm
Doctor.
here to moderate you, though, the discussion. So, yeah, let's go. We have professors here.
I'm well
we have
aware of
doctors
that.
here.
So we'll try
yeah,
our
let's
best
go.
not to get kicked out. So in order to better manage our time, there might not be room for the audience to jump in at intervals when they have questions or comments while the panelists are talking or sharing their ideas. So I'll love us, if you permit me, to hold on with our questions, possibly jot them down. At the end of the discussion, there will be time for Q&A.
That's beautiful. Let's go.
And in addition, if any of the panelists have a question and someone sitting in the audience answers it correctly, there will be a gift for you for that. So once again, thank you so much for this opportunity and welcome to our panel. It is our panel because it is all of us involved. And Builder Chooks, my brother, thank you so much for that thought-provoking lecture. I know everybody sitting here, including myself, if you didn't leave this marquee with anything from all you've said, we should be able to live with the fact that we should break off from the shackles of this is how it's been done, we've done that, we've continued to do that. We should move out. We should leave our comfort zones and be more proactive in executing our daily affairs in our careers, because it will be more, not just economically viable, but more fulfilling. Because I remember you made references to all the courses and exams you had to go through to become a builder and all that. And you find that many a time most professionals don't really inculcate what we've learned in our everyday practice. So that should be a thought-provoking statement that we should try and imbibe everything we've learned, even while in school, off school, because at a point when he was talking, I was wondering, is he trying to take the job of finance professionals or management accountants off from them? But definitely no. I know he's just trying to make us see the broader picture so that our tomorrow will be better than our today. And drawing from that inference, let's look at our topic once again. I would like to start with Builder York. In fact, when the introduction of the panelists were being made, I was wondering, do I fit into this room? Builder, prof, doctor. Should I run away or stay back? But let me shock you. I won't run away. Do you know why? I love opening myself to learning. I love interacting with people that are way up there so that I can draw inspiration and draw learning. And we can only pioneer innovation or change when we have something in us to give out. Is that right? You cannot give what you don't have. And we can only get better by learning, relearning, and unlearning. So Builder Chooks, can you share your view on this topic, the builder as an entrepreneur, maximizing construction value chain for innovation and sustainable benefit?
Well, moderator, I will advise that we give time limit to every discussant. Okay? Thank you.
Well noted, sir. On that note, can we respectively ask to get 5 minutes for each panelist to share, to pour out everything there is. In fact, like the MC said, you need to empty all we've been jotting down and all the research we've done over time. So I think 5 minutes should be enough to do justice to that. Thank you. Builder, York.
Yeah, good afternoon, everybody in the house, my presidents and my elders. I greet you all. In doing justice to this topic, I will beg your indulgence to give some personal stories that will guide us through what the subject matter is. First and foremost, I am a builder, and I will want to say that I am an entrepreneur. And the fact that I'm an entrepreneur, I will want to use this opportunity to coin a new name for builders who are entrepreneurs. And that name, as a builder that is an entrepreneur, I see myself as a builderpreneur. So going forward, I will want builders to identify themselves first as builderpreneurs. I am from Plateau, grew up in Enugu and Onitsha. So by virtue of that, the Igbos are captains of commerce. And I grew up with the enthusiasm to become an entrepreneur. So when I read building, I asked myself, why should I, as a builder, be hungry? I am tilting towards this angle because today, coincidentally, we're inducting the new corporate members of this institute. So this discussion will guide the new corporate members through a career path as a builder and as an entrepreneur. I had the privilege of working with the third largest aluminum company in 1998 as a trainee. And as a builder, I distinguished myself that in 2 years, I became the youngest manager in Chartered Aluminum Systems Limited. As builders, when we found ourselves in industries, I think it is our right to establish ourselves as professionals. We shouldn't do things the way business people are doing. We are different kind of business people in the industry. So when you come into a sector, you need to prove that you're a professional, and that is what I did in Chartered Aluminum. Moving forward, in 2002, I moved to Integrated Aluminum, where I rose to become a regional manager for North Central, Southeast, and South South. In 2005, I told myself that as a builder, why should I serve a company forever? Why wouldn't I come out and show the world that as a builder, we can be business people, we can be entrepreneurs? And so that we can have a platform to train young builders. I know I have 5 minutes. Now, in 2005, I set up Desire Rail Efficient Aluminum and Metal Systems Limited in Enugu. And one of the things we did, yes, building products. Who should know building products more than a builder? Why should a businessman who read some other course or who is not educated be an established person in building products? We, as builders, should be the ones leading in that sector. And that is what I did. And we started with roofing. And one of the things we did as an entrepreneur, I distinguished myself by insisting that we will not go through the way of the market, that we are professionals. So today in Enugu, when you're talking about roofing and you're talking about thick gauges from 0.55 and above, you can only find it in Desire Rail Efficient Aluminum and Metal Systems. And anybody you ask in Enugu will tell you, go to Builder Luca. He is one person that will give you. So now we are talking about value chain. Value chain in the construction industry. As a builder, nobody knows this product more than a builder. So I also am actively involved in windows and doors. Glass technology is one area that many of us as builders do not know that it is our role. I'm controlling one of the biggest markets in glass technology in Enugu. And many of us will ask, what is glass technology? Yes, we see all our buildings with glasses. These are special kind of glasses. As a builder, I understudied it, and we started producing bathroom cubicles, wonderful designs in bathroom cubicles, balcony railings, and all that. Now, moving forward to value chain. Skylights, polycarbonates. We are taught all this in school. So why should we allow non-professionals to be the ones leading in these sectors? Pergolas and gazebo. Yeah. Again, we have used this platform to encourage builders in Enugu and across the country. One of our recruitment patterns is going through schools, IT students. We go recruiting IT students, support them, and give them a platform to work with us and support them in school. And upon graduation, they remain with us. As builders, we are trainers. And in creating this platform, my company have been able to train more than 21 builders using the platform of Desire Real Efficient Aluminum Metal Systems, Pentover Habitation and Turnkey Development Limited, Fitzroy Utilities Enterprise, and Hilton Park Services. Hilton Park Services is our value chain company. That is the company that provides all the services, recruitment, logistics for all my businesses. And Pentover, we brought about Pentover. We asked ourselves, why should we build and some other person come to do finishing? So all these companies are building product companies. They render services across board in the building sector. Because of want of time, I will stop here. I want to give accolades to the guest speaker. He has been able to let us understand the role of a builder as an entrepreneur. And I'm sure that at the end of this program, many of us that are here will benefit from the discussions that will go on here. Thank you, and God bless us.
Thank you so much, Builderpreneur York. Thank you for that insightful discussion. And I could understand, if I should summarize in one word, all you've said. It's about a builder distinguishing yourself from the rest. You should be able to, not that you should be able to, he's a practical example because he did not only distinguish, but impacted in the lives of upcoming professionals for the greater good of the nation. That is something worth admirable. On that note, I'll move on to my quintessential prof. What is your perspective over builderpreneur and not just a builder in relation to our topic? Thank you.
Thank you very much, Lady Cynthia. In my mind's eye, when I was told I was going to be a discussant, I actually broke down the topic into 3 different aspects. And I am very happy that Builder Gyok talked about entrepreneurship, which leaves me to talk about the maximization of the construction value chain as regards to his being a builderpreneur. Yes? Okay. So, if you are looking at his perspective as a builder entrepreneur and how to improve the value chain system in the construction industry, I believe we are going to be looking at it from 3 aspects. First aspect, you're going to be looking at improving or maximizing your upstream innovation. The second aspect, you're going to be looking at improving your operational section or phase. And then lastly, you're going to be looking at improving your downstream process or your downstream innovation. Now, what do I mean by upstream innovation process? In your upstream innovation, you are looking mainly at your pre-construction phase. The pre-construction phase, that's where most of your upstream innovation takes place. Now, this can be achieved through market-driven feasibility studies, like Builder Chukso said, who is the guest lecturer. He asked us that we have to assert ourselves. We have to look at ourselves as consultants, not necessarily brick and mortar builders. So if you are looking at yourself as a consultant, as a well-rounded professional, you can go into consortium, you can liaise with other professionals and improve your upstream innovation capabilities. Again, you can look at early engagement of contractors in the construction process. This improves greatly the upstream innovation, as well as, like the guest lecturer said, including digital integration. Now, if we move on to the operational innovation, innovation takes place during the construction phase of the project, and this is achieved mainly through better monitoring and control of the project. You actually are able to employ the use of digital technology in the form of AI drones or sensors, wearable sensors, to detect where there is a need for better supervision, better monitoring, as well as employee or staff behavior on site. Now, if you're looking at improving your downstream innovation has to do with post-construction phase. Post-construction phase. Again, Builder Chooks mentioned that we can go into better facilities management, where he talked about, I think it was LRD, lease renovation management, or lease renovation design. So this fits perfectly into post-construction phase, where we can improve our facilities management. And also we can consider things like design for deconstruction when we are looking at sustainability, because there's a bit of there's a whole lot of sustainability in the topic, not just a bit. So we can look at design for deconstruction. We can also look at incorporating the 3 R's into the design and construction process, which is reduce, reuse, and recycle. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Prof. You actually delivered before your time. That speaks a lot. And thank you once again for the in-depth research in breaking down, will I say, the value chain and of the processes involved in getting us to where we intend to be. We are already there, but more is still needed to be done in order to make things better. Thank you for that broader insight. And I wouldn't say the two speakers have done justice to everything there is to this topic. I believe that there's still a lot more Dr. Musa can share with us in his own life experiences as a professional, and also not just inferences on all we've heard so far, but from the keynote lecturer and the panelists. There could be one or two, maybe in agreement or disagreement, he could throw his personal perspective in relation to this topic. Dr. Musa, please, can we hear your view? Thank you.
Good afternoon. As he rightly said, my name is Dr. Musa Ali Jugana. I am representing Builder Masoud Ladu Sali. I was just informed that I should be part of the discussion by Ladu Sali and later by one of the moderators who called me. Really, the speaker has done very well in telling us, in persuading the builders to become entrepreneurs. the second discussant when he said there should be issue of builderpreneur. I see it as he is creating a gap, because if you are talking of builderpreneur, the builderpreneur should do a course, as we have. If someone is leveraging on technology to become an entrepreneur, that person is called technopreneur. Whereas if a person is doing something with regard to agriculture and is becoming an entrepreneur in that very area, the person is called agripreneur. With the professors around, I don't know the name of the course that builders should undergo to become a builderpreneur. Maybe a curriculum development will help to take place. The speaker has actually done well. Really, there are opportunities for builders to leverage on and earn a living, which include affordable housing, public infrastructure, smart city institutions, community centers, renewable energy, waste management, public health facilities. All these are areas which builders should key into in order to have what to sustain them. But for that to actually take place, he has also made mention that there are challenges which we need to overcome before we can engage in these things. Actually, the only area that I want to look at is the not individualistic approach, but rather collective approach through our chapters and the national body by establishing expert innovation hub like NIOB innovation hub. Because if we are collectively, if we are collective, the more we are collective, the more we will be able to achieve our objective easier. This is what other countries are doing, like the UK, by establishing expert innovation hub. They are gaining a lot of revenues year in, year out. You can see that the opportunities we have, like at present, there are trainings going on in the country, like Tibet training. Tibet is technical area. We need to partner with the Ministry of Education, maybe through our innovation hubs in our various states. There is the need for the institution to set consultancy service units all over the nation, so that this can become a body that can be going and getting these contracts for the members. I am very sure we have people with expertise in the industry and in the institute at various chapters that can handle this. The amount approved for this Tibet as at now, which is taking place, they have paid the first tranche last week, is about 70 billion. 70 billion. You see, this is an opportunity. Look at Dangote refinery. When he was to establish the refinery, he searched to find out a contractor in Nigeria. He couldn't find a contractor that can build a refinery of that nature. And he had to establish Dangote refinery contract company. Dangote giving contract to Dangote while NIOB is around. You see, this is an opportunity that could have been grabbed by NIOB or similar bodies. So many examples are on ground which we should leverage the expertise we have and secure things for our members and for the institution, which we are not actually engaging ourselves in doing. I can see time time will not permit us, but I will give a small story of the same Dangote because he is the biggest entrepreneur in Nigeria. When moderator was asking him, how do you gather your money? Dangote sit again, put his glasses, look at the moderator and ask, how much do you want me to write? What amount do you want me to write for you on my check to give you a dash? The moderator was scared. She said, no sir, sorry. Later Dangote said, you see, the way I gathered my wealth is through grabs opportunities. Had it been you answered by only saying that 2 billion, I could have wrote 2 billion for you and it is yours. So the opportunities, we shouldn't actually play with them so that we can actually tap from them. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dr. Musa, for that real life situations you used to bring to bear the points you're trying to make in order to open our mindsets to explore our environment, seize opportunities, and try to carve a niche for us or for the members of the Building Institute in general. And in the course of your discussions, believe you me, if anybody wouldn't remember that your name is Dr. Musa, I believe they will remember technopreneur, agropreneur, builderpreneur re-emphasized. Thank you for that. And I would like to start with you by asking, if you indulge me, you mentioned collaborations, professionalism, standards. What is the role of regulation and standards, and how is NIOB helping professionals to professionalize building in Nigeria?
Yes, if NIOB can actually kickstart up establishing consultancy units, the consultancy units can reach the academic areas like universities.
If you indulge me, looking at value chain, how does the traditional builder role expand beyond bricks and delve into the role of planning, management, maintenance, innovation, processes, all the processes you outlined while you were giving us your own view on the topic?
Thank you very much, Madam Moderator. Like earlier explained by Builder Chuksomefe, the guest lecturer, the value chain in the construction industry comprises of all the activities from inception to completion. So if at every stage, the inception, the briefing, the feasibility stage, the design, the actual construction, the completion, handover, as well as in-use phase, if the builder as an entrepreneur can see himself delivering value for money at all of these phases as outlined by the guest lecturer, I believe we can improve greatly on the value chain process.
Fantastic. Our builderpreneur innovator. If you indulge me, experiences, what are the challenges, opportunities for builders in Nigeria in financing, regulations, competition, and reputation of the profession?
I will always speak from the business point of view. As builders, we are the lights of the profession. When you have the opportunity, you try as much as you can to practice from the point of professionalism. Now you ask, can I get your other
My
question?
question is, what are your real-life experiences in terms of challenges, opportunities for builders in Nigeria in relation to financing, regulations, competition, and reputation of the profession?
Now, the challenges as an entrepreneur, many people will tend to say finance. But for me, idea is the first capital that any entrepreneur should have. Finance will come because when you have an idea, people will approach you and you translate your idea for value for money. Now, in terms of competition, you must have to distinguish yourself for people to understand that you can add value to them and thereby creating a niche for yourself in the industry and thereby setting a path for competition. You mentioned
competition and reputation of the profession.
Reputation of the profession. As a builder, as a professional, why must you engage into unethical practices? Job as a professional without cutting corners. And I want to use this opportunity to encourage any builder that wants to be an entrepreneur or in practice as a builder. The most important thing is to be ethical in your deliveries. Thank you.
Thank you so much, my wonderful panelists. And at this point, we'll open up the floor for questions and answers from the audience. Please, if you have a question, could you help by raising up your hand so that the people assisting from the floor can get the microphones to you? I think I'll be able to take only 3 questions for want of time. Please, can we have your hands up if you have any question for any of the panelists, even our lecturer, the keynote speaker, Bioda Chooks, including the moderator, Dr. Alade Lobard, standing here. Okay, I have a hand. 1, 2 more hands, and we'll be wrapping up.
Publicity Secretary, where are you?
I can see him over there at the back.
PS, please report here. Okay. One from
One
this place.
here.
Okay.
Any other person that has a question for the panelists? I have 2, and the last 3. Okay.
We have them. That's exactly what I would do. 1, 2. Where's the 3?
Over here.
Somewhere there. Let's start from 1, because I know counting starts from 1. Don't let anyone accuse me of not knowing my figures. 1. You identify yourself? Okay.
Standing on existing protocol, my name remains Builder Oladele Isaac. I'm the MD, CEO of Oladele Construction Company based here in Abuja. My question proper, as much as I appreciate the guest speaker as well as the panelists, they've done a very wonderful job. And at this trying period of economy of Nigeria, I think this is the kind of lecture we need to be, attending. The era of seeking for white-collar job when you left university has gone. But there is a very important aspect in business, which none of the speaker or none of the panelists have mentioned, and that is the aspect of risk-taking. In any business, you must take risk. Without taking risk, you can't land successfully over there. And of course, in the course of taking risk, this is one of the areas, I'm speaking from a personal experience, of course, I interacted with a lot of young builders. Average builders, they are always afraid of taking risk. Another problem we have is that of inferiority complex. When we are in the site or in any business competition with any of our other colleagues, we always feel inferior. And I don't know why this should be. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. That's a contribution, it's not a question. Number 2. I thought number 2 is here. Okay. You change your mind? Number 3. Okay, let's take number 2. Number 3.
All protocol duly observed. My name is Usman Abbas Sani. So my question goes straight to Prof. Yakubu. You made mention of the 3R. I would like you to lay more emphasis on that and explain it in relation to the entrepreneurship aspect of building.
Thank you very much, Professor Yakubu. That's for you. The 3R we mentioned. Elaborate on them. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. My name is Biodun Ilori from Lagos chapter. I want to thank standing on existing protocol and appreciating all the panelists. But anybody that has been in the business over time will be able to relate with what Awobodu said about gaps and making losses on projects. And that is why the experience comes like the risk taker that the number 1 actually mentioned. But my take is a lot of times when we as builder will look at how actually getting networking, I think builders are not doing enough in these areas, and I would like if there is a way we can close that gaps, because the essence of this lecture is closing gap for what we learn on academics to what we are doing in practice. If you go to corporate bodies, banks, because those are areas where I actually carve my niche working for corporate bodies, we realize that you meet engineers, civil, architects, either corporate or non-corporate, but you hardly find builders. And if you want to prove this, go and look at all the banks, mention anyone, and check their project departments. How many builders will you find there? So if there can be a way we can close these gaps, builders that are in the field could have things. For want of time of question, I will relate an experience. But the point is, my question is, how can we close those gaps? So that if builders are found in those offices and in those corporate bodies, builders can leverage and there will be continued business. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's a contribution. And so we have just one question, and to Professor Ijego Yakubu. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, we are going to listen to the response of Professor Ijego Yakubu. But just before I forget again, past President Kenneth Undoka sent in apology for not being here online, and he made an apology, and that is recorded. And I also want to quickly recognize again the presence of my second vice president, Builder Ukeria Enebe. Thank you very much. So over to you.
Thank you very much. I believe the question was on the 3 R's. Yes, reduce, reuse, and recycle. Good. So if you are looking at the 3 R's in construction management, you are looking at waste reduction, 1. Secondly, you are looking at waste to value or waste to wealth initiative. Reducing waste in construction management means that you necessarily have to detect all of the possible places that waste could be generated from before your construction actually begins. If you are able to make a good assumption or a good estimate of where the possible waste points generation will be, then there's it stands to reason that there's every chance you will be able to reduce the waste generation on that particular project. Now, we all know that construction is a carbon-intensive environment because it contributes greatly to the carbon footprint. Looking at reducing, you try to reduce the amount of waste generated. reusing, you look at reusing the materials that have already been gotten or obtained from other construction sites. However, this is not an appealing process for now, because I'll give you an example. If you have a client and you say to him, sir, instead of going to buy gravel or hardcore, I can actually get bricks or blocks from a site that has been demolished. He's going to tell you, no, I don't want the rubbles from a demolished site. Buy my gravels for me. So it's something we have to introduce to the clients. It's something we have to introduce. Reusing of materials is not necessarily a bad thing. It's not the reason why the buildings are collapsing, as has been said before. If you look at your reinforced rods, they are actually studies, research has shown that they can be reused. At second use of your 12 mm, it loses about 20% of its strength. So it goes down to Y10, no longer Y12 mm. Same thing goes for your Y10. In second use, if you can deconstruct the building, you know what I mean by deconstruct? You actually demolish bit by bit, piece by piece. You take the building out in stages. So if you can actually deconstruct your building and get out your Y10 mm reinforcement rods, they also lose about 20% of their strength and they go down to Y8 mm. Now, talking about recycling, you can recycle already used materials from one site to another site and give them a new use. Say, for instance, if you are going to deconstruct these halls, you take out the chandeliers, you take out the lights, you take out the glasses. It doesn't have to be thrown away in some abandoned sites, you know, and then start causing landfill problems. You can actually transfer them to a new construction, and then they can be reused in those places, and then recycling takes place. Is that okay? Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Summary, talking about one of the people who made contribution talked about being inferiority complex, experiencing inferiority. I want to give you an instance. I had a site, and it was one in Lagos. So each time the architect consultant came to the site, we always want to intimidate my workers, especially the builders there. So one thing I told them, I said, anytime he comes, don't worry. Keep on saying yes sir to him, because he wants his ego to be massaged. But each time he comes and gives you an instruction, always give him the site instruction book. And so the architect was coming. They will say, yes sir, he will come. He will write, brrr. After I found out that he has committed the client for so much, that was 2008, for so much, I just tore the whole site instruction book. I gave it to my QS, so I put a cost on it. As at that time, it was around 10 million. So we wrote a letter and sent it to the client. And he came and said, is this not your handwriting? Are you not the one who wrote this one? So after that, they negotiated. We were able to get about 7 million naira then. And what happened? Thereafter, my workers came and said, Oga, what did you do to him? He has become so gentle. I said, that is what to do. There's something that we never build at. You must make sure that you don't lose your integrity. You don't lose your confidence, because you must know what you are doing. Henceforth, and I want to hand over to the moderator. Please round up. What we'll do after that, we'll invite the family. They will come and respond. We'll take photograph. Then we'll now discharge. Then we'll now take the induction. Oh yeah, let's go.
Well understood, Doctor. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As we leave here, please, I would like us to take 3 commitments into next year or the next edition of this honorary event. 1, to see ourselves as value chain leaders and not just builders.
That's 1.
To make innovation and sustainability our signature.
2.
Then last but not the least, to strengthen the professional voice of NIOB so that Nigeria building industry can stand for trust, quality, and competence. And by the time we put these three into our four banners, we will realize that in the next edition of this ordinary event, we will not be talking of changes or change innovations. We'll be deliberating and evaluating, analyzing results. Thank you very much.
Wonderful. Let's put our hands together. This panel, you are not leaving yet until after the family have spoken. But meanwhile, I want to appreciate the Chairman College of Fellow for forgiving me. I forgot again. The Chairman College of Fellow, Builder or Jambati, had been here since morning, and I did not recognize him. Please, let's applaud him. Thank you very much. Maybe because of the special gown you are wearing. So we want to respectively invite the family of Builder Otumba Fatai Oshikoya for the response. You are most welcome, sir. Please, let's put our